can't convince anybody in the world who doesn't believe in Jesus that there's anything about him. Really not anything about him that's significant. To many people in the world, Jesus is just another good man, historical figure of some kind. And that he doesn't really have any importance in our lives or in things to come, as he said he did. Many people believe that Jesus is going to come and do certain things that he said that he wasn't going to do, because they don't really know who Jesus really is. But the Jesus that we read about, the Jesus that we are looking for, we know, because he himself has made himself real to us. That's the only way it can happen. It's the only way. We can talk about Jesus, we can sing about Jesus, we can discuss Jesus, we can have debates about Jesus, pros and cons. And the Lord knew that. The Lord knew that. He knew that the world would debate him. He knew that the world would have many doubts about him. After all, it doesn't really matter what you do. It doesn't matter how great you appear. There's always skeptics. There's always doubters. There's always those who will not believe. When Israel saw the Red Sea roll back, and I've seen that place where the sea parted. It was a very wide place across that sea that they walked across. When the water stood up on both sides like walls, and they crossed on dry ground, and yet they doubted that God could deliver them in the land of Canaan. So no matter what God demonstrates to the world, there will always be those who will not believe. And there will be many who will perish. But God, the good news is that he will always have a people. There will always be somebody who does believe.
Amen.
You're either on one side or the other.
Amen.
You either know or you don't. You either accept it or you don't. The thing about the Lord is, he's going to make sure of his church, of his people, and we can be sure. How many of you want to be sure this morning? Stand to your feet with me. Do you want to be sure that you're his? Do you want to be sure that you belong to him? Do you know that Jesus is the way maker in your life? Every man can agree that every man needs help of some kind. But some men can't see their desperate needs. Some men can't see the darkness that they're in. Some men can't see their desperation and despair. Many people think that they're just fine the way they are. They don't need a Savior. They don't need a Jesus. But to everyone who sees their need, to everyone who understands their desperate situation, to everyone who is sick and dying, to everyone who is hurting, to everyone who is in pain, to everyone who is sick and tired of the way things are in their life and they want to change, then Jesus becomes real to them.
Amen.
And He's just as real today as He's ever been.
Amen. Amen.
And you come to find that for yourself. You come to find that for yourself as He shows and reveals Himself in that way. Who else can heal the broken heart but Jesus? Who else can satisfy the longings of a starving, hungry, dissatisfied soul but Jesus? Who else can lift a man up when he's down? Who else can feel the loneliness and feel the emptiness with peace that is beyond compare, with joy that is unspeakable? Who else can lift man up out of the miry clay and set his feet on solid rock? Who else but Jesus? Who but Jesus can bring men out of the darkness of this world into the light of the next world and cause them to know that this Mass is real? This is real.
Amen.
It is only Jesus. It is only Jesus. You see, you and I today are not out to make an argument with the world.
Yes.
You and I today are not out to try to carry on a lengthy discussion and debate with the world. Because 9 times out of 10, most people are going to out-debate you. But there's one person that can out-debate.
Amen. Thank God for it.
And that's the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
Hello.
Amen.
So that when the Holy Spirit reveals Christ to the heart, then there is no doubt. No one can dispute. No one can debate. No one can say no, because God has made Himself known.
Amen.
Amen.
And then, where are the disputers of this world? Where are they? I have no disputes with God. How many of you had a dispute with God? When God has made Himself real to you,
Amen.
there is no argument. When God brings His peace to your mind and heart,
Glory.
there's no argument. When you know that something has changed inside of you, then there's no argument.
That's right.
You just accept it because you know that you know that you know. And this is how God does it. Hallelujah. Praise God. He does something supernatural. Everybody say supernatural. Within you, within me. Hallelujah. He takes a normal person. Turn around and look at somebody and say, I'm normal whether I look like it or not.
I'm normal whether I look like it or not.
Hallelujah. And make something supernatural out of it. Hallelujah. And transforms. You might be able to tell looking from the outside, but boy, you ought to see what's going on the inside. Hallelujah. And I hope it shows outside. Amen. Turn around and tell somebody, I hope you can see Jesus in me. Sit down just a minute.
See Jesus in me.
I'm not going to hold you real long. I thought Tim was edging in on my sermon this morning. He touched on it just a few minutes there. I have brought this sermon out once before, or touched on it before. I don't know when it was, a long time ago. But there were some thoughts the Lord added that I want to share with you, just for a few minutes here. It's 20 minutes to 1. I'm try to hold too much longer. But we're celebrating the Lord today. We're celebrating His resurrection.
Amen.
We're celebrating the fact that Jesus is alive.
Yeah, Lord, that's what God, He's alive.
Yes, Lord.
One of these days, Matt, we're going to see Jesus. Is it worth it all? Is it worth it?
Amen.
Is it worth the struggle? Is it worth anything that we may have to go through? Is it worth any price that we may have to pay? Jesus paid it all. But if there's something He requires of us and asks of us, are we willing to do whatever He wants? Is He worth it? Is it worth it to see Jesus? Is it worth it to be with you?
Amen.
Is it worth it just to hear Him say, well done?
That's right.
He is our Lord. He is our Master. He is our Savior. And all He asks us to do. He said, this is my commandment. That you love me. As I have loved you, love one another. I was thinking about when Jesus was about to leave. He was about to leave this world. And first of all, let me say this. Jesus, I don't believe ever once was afraid. I was thinking about this. And He was gathered with His disciples, his chosen, the 12 that He chose. Even Judas was there. Judas finally, he left. He went out. The devil entered into him and he left. Jesus got the devil out of there. He gathered with the 11. He knew it was His last hours upon earth. And Jesus, I do not believe for an instant, was ever worried about leaving. He'd been with them 3 years, or about that long length of time, about 3 years. He had demonstrated to them His power, His glory, the miracles that He did, they witnessed. Jesus Christ was a person who was so outstanding, such an amazing person,
Yes.
that the world had never seen before or has never seen since.
Amen.
Now you think about that. There's never been a man living on planet Earth like Jesus. Oh God. What a wondrous, glorious, amazing, outstanding. There's no words good enough to describe His majesty.
Amen.
In this world. As a man. Wait till we see Him in all His glory.
That's right.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
But the effect that Jesus had in the earth must have been far surpassing anything that any one of the disciples could ever describe. John himself said He did so many things and worked so many miracles and wonders that all the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. But these are written that you may believe. But as Jesus was coming to His last hours, He was not concerned that they would be lost. But He was concerned about how they were feeling at that moment.
Yes.
He wanted to reassure them. He wanted to leave with them a message that would resound and resound and resound again in their ears, in their hearts. A message that would forever be settled
Yes.
in the corridors their memories. He knew that he was fixing to face the darkest hour. And I mean the darkest hour
Amen.
that any man has ever faced. No man upon this earth that's ever been born has ever faced such a darkness and such an hour. Many have been crucified. Many have died terrible, awful deaths. But the death of Jesus was more than just a death. We cannot for a moment imagine the horror and the load and the weight of sin that Jesus felt upon his body. That his soul, everything that you feel in your body, your spirit and your soul feels as well. He did not take sin upon his soul, but he took it upon his body. But his soul and his spirit were feeling what was coming upon him. Christ could never die in his spirit, but he could die in his flesh. And his flesh was suffering. And because his flesh suffered, his soul was suffering. His soul was sorrowful. He could feel the effects of sin in his very spirit.
Amen.
He didn't like that. Because he never knew sin. And all of a sudden, he's beginning to feel the sins of the whole world laid upon him. Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me, that I might not drink it. But nevertheless, your will be done. Jesus knew he was coming to this hour. He's coming to the power and the hour of darkness. And the prince of this world is to be judged and cast out. Woo! Hallelujah. He's going to win the greatest victory in all history that's ever been won. He's about to enter to the greatest contest that any man has ever been in. But he knew he had the victory. He knew he had the victory. He was willing. He was willing to suffer. He was willing to take it all upon his shoulders. He was willing to face hell itself for you and me. And here's his disciples gathered with him, his little group, knowing that what he was about to face, and knowing that he was going to leave this world. He saw his disciples. And he wanted to leave them with great assurance. I'm about to face the greatest hour of my life. But I want to leave you some words.
Praise you, Jesus.
He said, I am the true vine. And my Father is the husbandman. I am the vine, you are the branches.
Right.
Every branch in me that bears not fruit, my Father purges it, takes it away. And every branch in me that bears fruit, he cleans it, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen.
I'm the vine, you are the branches. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abides in the vine, neither can you except you abide in me. And as I read John 15, I read on down, and God pointed out this one verse to me, and I want to read it. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you.
Amen.
And ordained you. That means he has appointed us. That you should go and bring forth fruit. And that your fruit should remain. Now he said that for a reason. I've been reading up on vineyards. And like most anything that grows fruit, produces, it's seasonal. Fruit is seasonal. It has to go through a process. It lays dormant in the winter months. In the springtime, things begin to happen. Things begin to percolate. Life begins to come. New life sprouts. Buds come out. Flowers come, and then the fruit comes. And here Jesus says, you are to come and bring forth fruit, and your fruit will remain. And the Lord told me, He says, my people bear fruit in season and out of season.
Amen.
There's nothing seasonal about this. It's continuous. It's perpetual.
Glory.
It's every day, 365 days a year. Because I'm the husbandman. I own it. And I take care of it. And it delights me to see fruit growing year-round.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
That your fruit should remain. And then the Lord pointed this out to me, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, He may give it to you. Israel of old was referred to many times as a vine. If you read the book of Isaiah, it's amazing what you read in there, how that God speaks to Israel of them being a vineyard, a vine. And He says, planted a vineyard and set a high tower, and it was a delightful land, and the vines grew and covered the hill, covered the land. But it didn't bring forth good grapes, it brought forth wild grapes. And so the prophet says, Lord, consider this vine of yours. And the Lord said, it's no good. It'll be burned. It'll be destroyed. And the prophet said, but consider your own son, the Son of Man, at your right hand. And as you read on through the scriptures of the prophets of Isaiah, you find how that the Lord brings out over and over again how He deals with Israel.
Amen.
And how they constantly, continually failed God. And then in the 11th chapter of Isaiah we read, behold the branch that shall come from my son Jesse. He shall come forth as a branch from the stem of Jesse.
Yes.
Hallelujah. And that's what the Lord said, that's talking about the vine. That's the vineyard. See, that's the true vine.
Amen.
Amen.
And you read further on and He says, unto us a child is given, unto us a son is born.
Praise you, Jesus.
The government shall be upon His shoulders. They didn't understand what the prophet was saying. But Jesus was pointing out to His disciples, you've been with me all these years and all this time, and now I want to give you a last message. I want you to remember this. You recognize the symbols. Israel being, the vine being symbolic of Israel. But I want you to remember, I'm the true vine. I am the true vine. And you're the branches. Jesus Christ in His death. I had a picture in my mind. I've never seen a picture of it before. I'll be honest with you. I've never looked it up. I've never seen a picture of it. I've never thought about it before. But I thought of a vine growing at the foot of the cross. And growing and reaching up, encircling the cross. And fruit hanging from the limbs on the cross. The death of Jesus in His resurrection means just that.
Amen.
He brings new life. He brings new life and fruit into our lives.
Amen.
He referred himself one time as a grain of corn or wheat that falls in the ground and dies, and it brings forth much fruit. But God gave me that vision in my mind of the vine. You and I this morning, because of what Jesus did, are connected to this great vineyard that our Father has planted, who is the keeper. Praise God. I said God is the keeper.
Amen.
And God is the one who cleanses us and purifies us and clips us back and prunes us so that we bring forth more fruit unto Him. Jesus said, I want you to understand you are part of me. I want you to see yourself as being part of me. I'm not just your teacher and you're my pupils. I'm not just your master and you're my servant. I'm not just your friend and you're my friend. I call you my friends because I reveal to you what the Father has showed me. But I want you to understand something. I want you to understand the close relationship that we have. That I'm not ashamed of you. And that what I do for you now, you don't understand, but you'll understand later. But I want you to see the picture of what we really are. I want you to understand who I really am. Israel of old brought forth wild grapes. They didn't produce what God wanted them to, but God sent forth the stem of Jesse
Yes, Lord.
from the house of David.
Amen.
And raised him up. And this little stem, this little bud that came out, hallelujah, this is a real one.
Yes.
This is the one that's going to stand the test. This is the one that when it begins to grow and begin to become strong, praise God, it's not going to bring forth wild grapes. It's going to bring forth exactly what the Father wants it to.
Amen.
Hello.
Amen.
It's going to do exactly what the Father intended to do because Jesus is the real thing. He's the stock. He's the root. He's the real genuine vine that God plants.
Amen.
Amen.
He said, I want you to know that's what I am, and now you are part of me.
Hallelujah.
Somebody says, who is Jesus? He's the root and the stock. Who is Christ? He is the one that God planted. Who is He? He is the one to whom we trust. Who is He? He is the one in whom we have been made partakers of and are part of.
Amen.
Amen.
You can't take that away.
That's right. Amen.
You can't destroy that idea.
No.
Man, that's planted in my mind, that's planted in my heart, it's planted in every believer's heart, and the devil can't destroy that. Nothing can destroy that. There's no fire hot enough to burn it up. It'll remain when everything else has passed away. It will remain.
Amen. God.
Amen.
He said, I am the vine.
Thank you, Lord.
You are the branches.
Right.
This is the picture he paints in their spirit. And when the helper comes, when the Holy Spirit comes, he says, he's going to guide you into all truth and bring to your remembrance the things that I've said to you. And he's going to help you and show you. Hallelujah. And as long as you abide in me, as long as you abide, if you abide in me, my word abides in you. He said you'll bring forth fruit. And he says, the fruit, because you bear fruit, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he'll give it to you. Have you ever often wondered why there's so many unanswered prayers in your life? You prayed, don't seem to get an answer. You prayed, nothing happened. You prayed, and God seems to not be listening. Jesus said, I want you to bear fruit, so that your fruit remains, so that whatever you ask the Father, he'll give it to you. Jesus is one with the Father. Isn't that right? Well, no, he's one with the Father. Did Jesus ever go with unanswered prayer? Did he ever go without anything that he had ever needed from the Father? Anything he asked, he had. Anything he spoke, it came to pass. Everywhere he went, and everyone that he met, in whose life he came into life and met every need, because he's connected. He's with the Father. He's bringing forth the life and producing the fruit of the Father. He mentions 3 of them there and when he's speaking with them about the fruit. Fruit's a funny thing. Fruit, if you think about it, a cluster of grapes, they're all the same thing. There's many on the cluster, sometimes as much as 60 on one cluster or more. It's all the same thing, but there's each separate little grape. Love, peace, joy. We mentioned that this morning. Love, peace, joy, meekness, temperance, faith, all these things, they're all part of this cluster. And Jesus said, if you bring forth fruit, ask anything of the Father. Let me tell you something this morning. There is nothing that God will withhold from us.
Amen.
He wants us to see. He wants us to understand. He wants us to perceive Christ. That we are connected. We are one with Him. And that being one in Him and abiding in Him, we bring forth fruit. Love, patience, joy, temperance, meekness, kindness. Is God looking for all the great works you want to do? No. He's looking for the fruit.
Amen.
Is God looking for the mighty acts that you want to do? No. God is looking for the fruit.
Amen. Yes, He is. Amen.
And when that love is burning in your hearts, when that joy, Jesus said, my joy, I want your joy to be full. Remember, He told me, He said, I want your joy to be full.
Oh, yes.
He also said, I want you to have my peace.
Yes.
My peace I give unto you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. In the world you'll have tribulation. Be of good cheer. I've overcome the world.
Praise you, Jesus.
I give you my peace.
Lord.
What's He talking about? He's talking about this fruit.
Yes.
When you and I want to say this, I'm going to close in a minute. When you and I this morning are more concerned, and God's speaking to you right now, as God speaks to your heart, being concerned about fruit bearing in your life.
Come on. Amen.
And I'm concerned about that for myself so much. I said, God, I see myself and I don't like what I see. I don't like the things that I see in me from time to time.
Come on.
I don't like it when I'm short with my wife. I don't like it when I'm argumentative. I don't like it when I get mad and angry and say things I shouldn't say. I don't like it, Lord, when I don't love as I ought to love. I don't like it, Lord, when I don't trust you, when I doubt you. I don't like it, Lord, when I'm not willing to reach out a helping hand for somebody else.
Come on.
I don't like it, Father, when I see things in my life, Lord, that's not like you. But when those things abound, when those things are fruitful, when those things are reigning in my life and produced in my life, when I'm walking in that connection, when I'm walking in that relationship with Jesus, and that's what He is.
That's right.
Some folk think they got a good relationship with Christ because they go out and raise the dead. That don't make you a relationship with Christ. Don't get me wrong, I believe you can raise the dead in the name of Jesus. I never have. But we raise the dead spiritually. There's a lot of dead spiritual people out there. When God saves them, they come to life.
Amen. Amen.
God raises them from the death of sin, darkness.
Yes.
But when I see that fruit, when I know it's being produced in my heart, And God sees. That's what God's looking for. That's what God wants. And He's pruning away all that stuff in me that He doesn't like. All that stuff in us that God doesn't like. He's going to cut it out there. He's going to prune it off. If He sees a little bit, you say, well, I know in my heart. God knows my heart. He knows every one of our hearts.
That's right.
He knows how you think. He knows how you feel. He knows how you treat your neighbor and treat one another and love one another. He knows about your faith. He knows how temperate you are, how patient you may be.
Yes, He
or
does.
not. God may look down there and see a little bitty, He may see a little bitty cluster growing with 2 or 3 grapes on it. God says, well, they got a little bit going there. That's good. But all this other stuff, I'm going to have to cut it off.
That's right.
I'm going to have to cut that out there.
Amen.
Because this little bitty thing here can get bigger.
Yes.
And I want it to get larger. And it's kind of spaced, it's kind of spotted here and there. The Lord says, this can be a very fruitful branch. All I need to do is trim it back here and there.
Wow. Yes.
And as we begin to feel God's clipping back on us, how does He do that? Through His Word.
Yes.
His Word begins to cleanse us. His Word begins to cleanse us from all this stuff. As we read in His Word and we get His Word in our heart, Jesus said, you are clean through the Word that I speak to you now. What's He mean? Cut you back, cut up all the things that's not necessary in you right now. You're clean because you hear my words. And right now your heart is cleansed. Right now your mind is open to me. Right now you're in love with me. Right now you're willing, you're wanting everything about me. I've been with you and I'm going to leave you, and your heart is sad and you want to be with me and you want to know me and you want to be close to me, and I like that. I want to be near you. I want to be close to you. But I will never leave you and I'll never forsake you.
Glory.
I'll always be with you.
Thank you, what it says.
I'm the vine. You're the branches. Go out into the world and bring forth fruit. You're connected with me now. Stay connected with me. Stay connected. Stay in tune.
Amen.
Let my words abide in you. Remember what I said. Remember my love. Remember my faith. Remember my patience. Remember I give to you my peace. Remember I give to you all that I have is yours. All that I am, you are. I will send the promise of the Father, and He will abide with you forever. And He'll help you. He'll help you through life. He'll help you as you go along. He'll help you when you go out and preach my word and deliver it to the whole world. He will be with you and help you and guide you and show you. And He'll help you to conquer your sins and your flesh in this world. He will help you overcome. Because He's going to bring to you my word.
Amen.
It's going to abide in your hearts. So as we begin to think about it, then that is when that we know. As we are abiding, we're resting and growing in that vine, that trunk, the stalk we're growing out of. And the vines are just going along. And as the life flows through each branch, the buds come out, the fruit comes out, and God is pleased. And it just keeps growing and keeps growing. Pretty soon another cluster comes out. And that cluster, it remains. What's it remain for? Praise God. God has use for it. Did you know God has use for your patience? He has use for your love. He has use for your faith. Amen. He has use for your temperance. He has use for all these things that are the attributes of Christ. And when these things are developed and growing in us, Jesus said, so that whatever you ask. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And I have found myself to be that way so many times. Unstable in my mind. Because I've been tossed to and fro about so many things in life. It's got me off course. And I'm not sure. I don't have confidence when I come to God. I'm not confident when I come to God. I haven't been confident when I come to pray. I haven't been confident when I've come to ask. But as I learn to be settled and to trust Him, and I don't know what to do with what I have in my hands. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. The Lord says, lay it down. What am I going to do with what I've done? God says, lay it down. What am I going to do with all these years I've spent doing this? God says, lay it down. There's nothing you can do with it. You can't fix it. You can't repair it. You can't renovate it. You can't remodel it. You can't renew it. Lay it down.
Glory.
And walk away. That's what He's telling His disciples. Walk away. Walk away from your doubts and fears. Walk away from this world. Walk away and walk with me. I'm the vine.
Yes.
I am the true vine. My Father's the husbandman. You're the branch. I have ordained you and called you to bear fruit. Listen to me this morning. You want answered prayer? You want God to answer your prayer? Believe what Jesus said.
That's right.
Abide in Him. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't be up and down, in and out, back and forth. Don't be double-minded and unstable in all of your ways. Settle it in your hearts and minds. Give it up. Lay it down to crawl. And know, Lord, you're going to take care of everything in my life. Because I'm going to rest in you. And I'm going to grow in you. And I'm going to produce your love and your patience
Amen.
and your faith and your endurance. I can't do it myself. But as long as I'm connected with you, your life can flow in me. And when I know I'm connected, when I know the flow is there, when I know everything's right. I'm not talking about being perfect and everything. I'm not talking about getting to the point where you don't ever sin. But I'm not talking to encourage you to sin either. I don't encourage anybody to sin. But we all fall, we all make mistakes, we all sin, we all come short. But I'm not going to let my shortness and my failing cause me to stop. I'm going to remember what Jesus said. And when I do, I know that I'm connected. When I do, His Word is abiding in me. Now His Word is abiding in me now.
Amen. Yeah.
Not my words. It's not my thoughts. It's not my doubts, not my questions. It's not my inabilities. It's not my shortcomings. It's not my anything. Lay it all down. All I know is now I'm abiding in Him. And I'm bringing forth fruit.
That's right.
And when we're at that point, then we say, Father, I ask you in the name of your Son. And the Lord says, I will give it.
Hallelujah. Amen.
You say, well, you talking about works? No, I'm not talking about works. I'm talking about resting and abiding in Him. So that whatever Jesus said you ask, the Father, He will give it to you. Because you have great confidence, not because you know it's in yourself. You have great confidence in knowing that you're connected to the vine. And that life of the vine is flowing in you. And God knows that life is flowing in you because He sees that fruit coming out of you.
Amen.
Glory. Hallelujah! My God, when you know you got love in your heart, you just love. When you know you believe God, you just believe. When you know that you're going to be patient with somebody, you're just going to be patient with it.
Amen.
Time to quit talking about it. Just time to start doing it.
Amen.
And the only way you can do it is just know that you abide try to get ahead of God. Don't try to make plans. Don't try to figure out your life and what you're going to do next. Just rest. So that when you come before Him and there's a need in your life and you need something, you just ask. Father, I believe this is what you want me to do. I ask you to do this. And He says, I will. Because now we're in the flow. Now we're in the lifeline. Now we're all connected together. And everything's working just like God wants it to work. I'm astounded sometimes when I see the things God does in my own life and prayers that He answers and things that He brings about in my own life and how wondrous it is. And sometimes I just stand back and just amazed at how God does things in my life. Because I've learned how to say, Lord, I'm trusting you. You will do what you said. You will bring it to pass.
That's right.
Because I'm asking you, I'm trusting you, I'm believing you, I'm leaning on you. Sometimes I don't understand why things don't happen sooner. But God, you have your own time. And God says that's good because that's patience. That's another good fruit I see. Another good fruit I see. Hallelujah. Does God own this thing or doesn't He? Does He own it? Does God own this vineyard or do I own it? Does God own it or do you own it? Is God running this business or you? God's running the business.
Amen. Praise God.
I'm glad He is.
That's right.
And Brother Matt, we're all part of His business. Hello.
Amen.
We're all in this thing working together
Yes.
in beautiful harmony in the life of Christ, in the vine, hiding, producing. Oh, hallelujah. How many can see that this morning? If you do, stand to your feet with me. We're all abiding in the same life. Don't be anxious. Don't be anxious for anything. Be careful for nothing. Rest and grow. Rest and grow in the Lord.
Amen.
And let Him produce. Listen, some of you think, well, I need to do this. I need to go over to Africa and win 10,000 souls to Christ. I need to go to Australia and sing a 24-hour concert. No, what you need to do is sit back, relax, and grow some love.
Amen.
That's right.
Yes.
Grow some patience.
Amen.
Hello? Grow a little more faith. Grow temperance. Grow mercy. Grow grace. Grow reaching out to others with your heart. Grow being a testimony for Christ to your neighbors. And then, when the time comes, and you know it, and you'll know it, every one of us will know it. God shows you things He's going to do. He showed me things in my life that He's going to do, and I'm still expecting it. And when the time comes, He'll show you when and where and how, and He'll make the way, and He'll cause it to happen for His glory.
Amen.
Amen.
Why? Because we're resting and abiding in Him. Let me tell you this morning, I'm going to say this one more thing. Every one of our lives can be improved.
Amen.
Amen. Right. Yes.
I dare anybody to raise your hand and say, I'm satisfied with the way my life is. All right, let me see the hands of those that says, I believe my life can improve and do a whole lot better, and I'm expecting better things to happen.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, get ready for the pruning.
Yeah.
Get ready for the pruning.
That's right.
Get ready to hurt a little bit. Get ready to,
Amen.
maybe you don't like this or that, but get ready.
It's coming.
Can you imagine? The Lord says, I need to cut this off. Go ahead, Lord, cut it off. It's going to hurt, son. I know it. But in the end, it will yield peaceable fruit.
Yes.
which is pleasing to me. And that's what I want to see in you more than anything. Hallelujah. And with that, we are satisfied. With that, we are confident. With that, we are content. And as long as we are content in the Lord, I'm not talking about being lazy and slack. I'm talking about being content, growing in Him.
Yes.
Then we know I'm part of this thing.
Amen.
I'm part of Jesus. He asked the Father and He got it. I'm going to ask the Father and I'm going to get it. Whatever it is His will to be done, I'm going to ask according to His will, and I know that He'll hear me. And if I know that He hears me, I'm going to have everything that I ask of Him.
Amen. Praise God.
Amen.
Because I'm not outside of myself, I'm in Jesus. I'm not outside of Him, I'm in Him.
Amen.
I'm not going against Him, I'm working with Him.
Amen.
I'm not away from Him, I'm part of Him.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
We're part of Jesus.
I'm expecting great things to happen. How many's expecting great things?
Yes.
I'm expecting the Jews, and before Jesus comes back, I'm expecting the Jews to get saved. House of Israel, the majority of them, to come to Christ. I'm expecting. Let's pray for the Jewish people this morning. Let's pray for people everywhere. Let's pray for the Jews. Because when the Jews get saved, get on fire for God, you talk about putting the Gentiles to shame. Man, they're going to be so on fire for God. They're going to evangelize and preach the world. People by the millions are going to get saved through the preaching of the Jewish people.
Amen.
When they come to the realization that Jesus Christ truly is the Messiah.
Amen.
They're a Messiah.
Amen.
They're going to know that. God's going to open their eyes. Hallelujah. And they're going to be part of this vine. They're going to be connected. They're originally from the original part of that, like Abraham's stock, they're originally from that. But he's a father of faith, not just a father of law. He's a father of faith.
Amen.
Praise God.
Jesus is the root. He's the root. He's the root of Abraham. Praise God. So we're all being connected, and the Lord's going to do a great work. So praise God. I just, this morning I feel fruity. Praise God. I feel fruitful. I feel fruitful this morning. Praise God. You feel fruitful? I can almost smell the blossoms in there. I can smell the fruit in there. Praise God. Did you ever go to the store and just walk around with a selling fruit? You smell all those different smells? I smell fruit this morning. God wants us to be fruitful. Hallelujah. That's what it's all about. Being fruitful. Hallelujah. I want to be fruitful. I want to love my wife like I ought to. Love my husband like I ought to. I want to love my children like I ought to. I want to love everybody in church like I ought to, Lord. Lord, fill my heart full of your love. Hallelujah. Lord, help us to help one another. Care for one another. Pray for one another. Do you pray for me when you pray? I pray for you.
Amen.
I pray for everybody in this church. When I get out and pray for the church, I may not mention your name because I can't call everybody's name. But I say, Lord, everybody goes to that building. I pray for them right now. Meet your every need. If there's anything I can do, Lord, you can show me. Just let me know.
Amen.
Praying for one another.
Yes, right.
Lifting each other up before the Lord.
That's right.
That's important. That's a fruit.
Amen.
That's what God's looking for. Amen.
Brother Bob, don't it say you take one step towards me and I'll take two steps towards you?
I want to take 2 steps with him.
I'm going to be there right on.
Hallelujah!
I'm going to be on his back.
I want to walk side by side with Jesus. I don't want to be away from him. I want to walk with him.
Amen.
Right.
I want to walk with him, Brother Roy.
Amen.
Walk with Jesus. That's what Jesus is telling us. I'm the vine. Praise God. Try and look at somebody and say, do you know I'm a branch? I'm a branch. Stick your arms out there. Stick your arms out there. Do you know I'm a branch? You see any fruit?
Amen.
Let's show some fruit this morning. Instead of praying, going home, go around and hug one another. Go around right now. Hug each other's neck. Say, I love you. Jesus loves you. Whatever I can do for you to help you, I'll help you. I'm here.
My mother told me a story about Daniel in the lion's den. He just moved Daniel, never seen a lion again. prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. But in the trouble all around, like a roaring raging sea. Jesus heard me pray, Lord, and He came and rescued me. Now Jesus prayed in the garden, Moses on the mountaintop. The two men prayed in the jailhouse, Lord, and the jail began to rock. Jonah prayed a prayer one night in a fish in the bottom of the sea. If God heard Jonah pray, Lord, I know He's gonna listen to me. I said a prayer changes things, prayer changes things. But in the trouble around like a storm in rain is head. Oh, Jesus heard me pray, Lord, rescue me. Glory! My mother told me a story about Daniel in the lion's den. He just knew Daniel would never see light again. He fell asleep in the dungeon and he prayed 3 times a day. And when the king looked in upon him, this is all he could say. He said, prayer changes things, prayer changes things. But in the trouble all around, like a roaring raging sea. Jesus heard me pray, Lord, and He came and rescued me. Now Jesus prayed in the garden, Moses on the mountaintop. The 2 men prayed in the jailhouse, Lord, and the jail began to rock. Jonah prayed a prayer one night in a fish in the bottom of the sea. If God heard Jonah pray, Lord, I know He's gonna listen to me. I said a prayer changes things, prayer changes things. But in the trouble around, like a storm in rain is head. Oh, Jesus heard me pray, Lord, rescue me. Glory! My mother told me a story about Daniel in the lion's den. He just knew Daniel would never see light again. He fell asleep in the dungeon and he prayed 3 times a day. And when the king looked in upon him, this is all he could say. He said, prayer changes things, prayer changes things. But in the trouble all around, like a roaring raging sea. Jesus heard me pray, Lord, and He came and rescued me. Now Jesus prayed in the garden, Moses on the mountaintop. The 2 men prayed in the jailhouse, Lord, and the jail began to rock. Jonah prayed a prayer